Welcome back to the Garrett Ashley Mullet Show. This is, of course, Garrett Ashley Mullet coming to you from Greeley, Colorado. I've got a new reaction video for you here on the latest campaign advertisement from the Trump team. I have not watched this. I was just kind of scoping around, checking my email after getting home from work. It's the Labor Day weekend. And it's a Friday, and the house is quiet because my wife and kiddos are at the river with another gal from church and their kiddos. So while the house is quiet, I'm going to cue this up. We're going to see what it is. The one from last week, I did a reaction video to as well. It has been flagged as age restricted, just so you know. So if you watched it last week, or if you want to go back and check it out, you have to be over 18, apparently. We'll see if this one gets flagged as well. I have my suspicions that the other one got flagged because politics, not because of violent content, not because of the promotion of violence, as is alleged. I have a feeling that this is entirely politically motivated. The politics of the person with the campaign ad are so disagreeable to the moderators. It has nothing to do with an algorithm. It has everything to do with certain people at a certain social media giant really hating a certain political persuasion. So enough about that. We'll check this one out. I haven't watched it yet. This is a reaction video. I'm not going to watch it before I react to it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I don't know if that's what most people do. I'm not going to do it. I got this from Not the Bee. I think that's quite enough. We're going to react to whatever is in this. Let's go ahead and fire it up. We'll check it out.
Afghanistan cannot be used as a terrorist base.
That Afghanistan has become a Disneyland for terrorists.
We plan for every contingency.
Total chaos.
It is heartbreaking. It is depressing. It's a failure, and he needs to own that failure.
I bear responsibility for all that's happened.
He did not admit any mistakes. He did not offer any change of course. He says we're going to continue forward.
He really isn't taking responsibility.
Mr. Biden, you did this. You made the deal with the Taliban. This is the consequences of it. Go to hell, Biden!
Tens of thousands of people being left behind.
There's American citizens left. We're going to stay till we get them all out.
Pause. Time out. I can't quite fathom hoisting one of my own children, let alone an infant child, over a wall, over a fence, over barbed wire to soldiers from a different country just to get them out of my country, because my country is being overrun by terrorists, by fascists, by Islamofascists. I can't quite fathom. Can you? I mean, again, like I said in the first reaction video, whether you like Trump is really beside the point. It really is. At least in my mind, it is a secondary issue. It's not about liking Trump. It's not about hating Biden. It's about, are these good decisions that are being made here? And when we make a bad decision because we've gamified politics in this country, are we alone the ones who bear the cost for that? And do we think about that? Do we really grapple with what it would be like to be a man or a woman, or a man and a woman, husband and wife, mother and father, in Afghanistan, so distraught at what the Taliban takeover will mean for their infant child, that they hand that child to American, to U.S. military servicemen, so that that child maybe, just maybe, has a chance at living a good life in this country. All of the fascists and communists here in this country who think that America's so awful, who think that America's so terrible, you don't like this country? How about you go see if the Taliban wants you? How about you go see if Xi Jinping wants you? How about you go find some other country? But those women and children and men in Afghanistan, they want very badly to come to this country to get away from the Taliban. And if they can't get away, if they can't get out, they at least want their infant child to get out of this country. even having very strong opinions, positions with regards to border security and not wanting anybody and everybody to be able to pour across our southern border with Mexico or northern border with Canada, although that's not an actual problem. That's a hypothetical problem. Look it up. But even though I have very definite ideas, I still have to admit, you still have to admit, that the reason why we have such a problem with border security is because people from South and Central America and all over the world want so badly to come to this country, the United States of America, for a reason. Not for no reason, for a reason. Maybe, just maybe, we should be safeguarding, cherishing, protecting America in the conditions that it needs to thrive in, so that this is the kind of country that people pass their infants over fences to get their children into. So it's the kind of country that we want to live in long term, that our children and our children's children want to live in long term. Just a thought. Let's get back to the video. But that image is just, it's seared into my brain as of the past week. It's just, I can't let it pass without commenting.
We did not get everybody out.
Dozens and dozens of U.S. citizens went to the airport, and the gates never opened.
The mission hasn't failed yet.
If this isn't failure, what does failure look like exactly?
But there's to be.
So how about ISIS and the threat that Americans face now?
Okay, again. Republican, Democrat, whatever your party, walking away from reporters asking questions on behalf of the American people with regards to, in many, many cases, loved ones of the American people, of American persons still in this country, who are in that country behind enemy lines, who are going to be fleeing and running and hiding for their lives to avoid being captured, tortured, and murdered by the Taliban. When reporters have questions of this president and he turns his back on the reporters and walks away, I really feel like that's symbolic. I really believe that is symbolic of his turning his back on our citizens, the citizens of our allied nations, and our allies in Afghanistan. The Afghan allies who worked with us, who risked their lives, staking their families' lives on our good name, on our credibility, on our integrity. Biden doesn't just turn his back on reporters when they're asking him questions about this. He turns his back on those people, on our people, on you and me. Anybody that voted for this guy last year made a big mistake. Elections have consequences, for better or worse. Right now, we're experiencing the bad consequences, and we're going to be experiencing a lot more of them. This is just the beginning. This isn't even a full year in. It's barely over 6 months into his administration. This is not going to get better before it gets worse. If our betters, supposedly so-called, who are so much smarter than flyover country, had a lick of sense, they would remove this gentleman from duty. They would relieve him of duty because he's not fit for service. He is just not. He should resign, but if he doesn't have the decency to resign, he should be removed from office. Use the 25th Amendment. If that's what you can do, then do it. Kamala Harris is not much better, but if she's out of line as well, then remove her too. You just keep repeating the process until we get through the process of elimination to a decent president, because we cannot accept incompetence, incoherence, and apathy. We just can't. that's all. That's the end of the video. Wasn't long, short and sweet. We'll leave it there. Leave a comment down below if you noticed something that I did not, if you disagree with my commentary. If you dislike this video, by all means, go ahead and dislike it, but tell me why and tell me what you would have liked better, and let's discuss it. If you like this video, though, which I have a feeling you did, go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe on this channel, leave a comment letting me know why you liked the video. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. In any event, that's all I've got. I got to run. As always, thank you for listening. And until next time, God bless.